Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in, TikTok. Let me hit live over here. If you are just joining, get in here, get in here. I'm going to teach you guys how you can turn extra rooms. If you have rooms in your house, if you have access to housing, and teach you how to get paid from housing the homeless. So get in here, get in here, get in here. If you're just joining, hit the thumbs up on the stream. Welcome in, TikTok. Welcome in. A lot of y'all are looking for a second job. You need to start a business. This is the new wave. Housing programs, independent living. Some people call it shared living, y'all. This is what's making everyday people financially free. You can hit your first 5K to 10K months in this business. This business right here, providing safe housing to people in need, y'all. I never made six figures in my life until I started this business. So that's why I'm on here today to teach you guys how you can start your very own housing program in any city, in any state. Welcome in, TikTok. Patricia said, hi, I'm so grateful for you. Welcome in, Patricia. Who else was that? Welcome in. Welcome in. Get in here. Somebody else said something, but if I missed it, welcome in. Welcome in, YouTube. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Say hello in the chat so I can shout you out. There it is, Pretty CEO. Hey, Pretty CEO. If you are new here, my name is Lane. I'm based in Metro Atlanta. I get paid from housing the homeless because I started a housing program. And now I teach you guys how you can set these housing programs up in your cities and your states because there's a need for housing everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're located. There are homeless individuals, y'all, that need safe housing and they can't afford to live by themselves. They can't afford to go out there and rent traditionally the way you and I can. So that's why I teach you how to set up these housing programs in your cities and your state so you can get paid for helping people get into housing. And if you're just joining on TikTok, let's get the live stream up to 2,000 likes and we're going to get started. See, Pretty CEO said, I have a potential house meeting with them Monday. Wish me luck. You got this. You got this. So, yeah, some of my students are in the chat, y'all. Hi, Jada. Period. So some of my students are in the chat. They got 2, 3 houses, and these are everyday people that have no experience. They have bad credit. They didn't go to college for this. So if you're in this chat, if you've ever had desire to get paid from housing seniors, veterans, people returning from prison or jail, people that are transitioning from homelessness, you need to be starting a housing program. This is a new wave. This is a new wave. And when I tell y'all we get paid to house the homeless, it's not the homeless people that's sitting on the street corner holding the signs up and that's strung out. The homeless people that we're housing, y'all, these are people that look just like you and I, but they're veterans, they're seniors. These are people that have no family. So that's why they end up in these type of situations. So if you've ever had desire to start something like this, get into the room and I'm going to show you why you need to start your own housing program. Strung out. Yeah, Lashana, because every time when people hear the word homeless, they be like, I'm not housing no homeless people. Listen, y'all, I'm not telling y'all you have to live with these people. They live by themselves. You don't have to live with them. They live by themselves. Now, if you want to live with them, then you can, but you don't have to. So if you're new to me, I have 6 houses and 49 beds. My people live by themselves. Hey, Marie. So my people live by themselves, y'all. These are grown, independent people. So think of it like that. Think of having grown adult children that need somewhere to stay and they paying you every single month for that bed. And here's the thing, y'all. I don't teach y'all to set up private rooms. We are getting paid by the bed. Everybody type bed in the chat because this is how we make our money, y'all. We put a minimum of 2 people in one room. So type bed in the chat. Hey, Ariane. Jada said, when are you going to be in New York? I think the closest I'm going to be hosting an event in New York is probably Philly. Period, y'all. So we get paid by the bed. You do not have to sit here and rent out private rooms like a pad split. This ain't no putting up your stuff on FB Marketplace because when I tell y'all, wait, when they come to Philly? So Philly's gonna be probably in sometime in September. I'm gonna announce the date though. But if you're in the chat, I'm going to be on the West Coast. I'm going to be in Oakland May 30th of this month. So get your ticket if you want to learn housing in person. So if you're a hands-on learner, you want to learn in person, you want to get close to me and get into the room. When I tell y'all the in-person events really be next level, they really do. So yeah, I'm going to be in Philly later on in the summer and I'm going to announce it soon. But right now I'm focusing on the Bay Area. We selling that out. Y'all know I sell out every event that I do, so make sure you get your tickets to the Bay. So if I have any West Coast people in the chat, go get your tickets to Oakland. It's going to be a vibe. We're going to be on a rooftop. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. So yes, if you're just joining TikTok, let's get the likes up to 2,000 likes before we get started. Midwest. Chicago is definitely on the list. Chicago is definitely on the list. Marie said, have you housed anyone that has HIV? What's your opinion? Here's the thing, y'all. I love housing people that are on HIV because they got money. I teach everybody in this chat, we do not discriminate on housing people. As long as these people are independent and they have money, you should be housing them. And they're willing to follow the rules that you set in your house. You should be housing these people, y'all. So yes, you can house people with HIV and they're no different than any other person. I don't tell nobody's business to nobody else in the house. And then honestly, with the way that is, y'all, you can't just sit here and catch it because you ate after somebody, you ate out the same dish. Like, so we got to get educated on that population, but they're nothing different. Just make sure that they clean after themselves if they were to have like an open wound or something. But other than that, I house them just fine. You definitely can house that demographic. So yeah, I do have a funny story time. I do have a funny story time about that population though, y'all, right? So one of my business besties, she had yeah, Yogi. We don't judge. We are second chance housing, y'all. So that's what the difference is. We don't judge people. We provide safe spaces. Everybody type safe spaces in the chat. That's what we do as housing providers. That's what I teach you guys to do in your areas and your cities. We provide safe housing to all individuals in need. But I do have a funny story. I do have a funny story, right? So one of my business besties, she also does housing same way I do it. So I house people with HIV. She houses people with HIV. But y'all know if you don't know, most of my houses are gender only. So I have mainly men only homes, women only homes. So I don't be having to worry about them messing around and nothing like that. But you can do this business as co-ed, right, y'all? You can do co-ed. My friend, she has a co-ed house, but just know if you housing these co-ed people, just know it come with it. I do have co-ed, but I just recently moved the last two ladies. They split up. So that house is back a male only house. But here's a story time, y'all, right? Just know when you have these co-ed houses, it don't matter how old, how crippled you think these people is, they still gonna be messing around. They still gonna be messing around. So that's why I like to split my homes up by the gender just to prevent all that unnecessary drama. But back to the story. So my friend, TikTok, let's get the live stream up to 2K likes. What we doing? Let's start tapping. YouTube, I'm gonna need for y'all to smash that like button too, because I'm putting you into no secret, boo. Put in that work. That part, Pisces butter. So there is no secret to securing a home. You just have to know what to say and walk in there with confidence. That's really it. That's really it. Because what makes the difference between somebody that gets told a no and the person that gets told a yes? At the end of the day, y'all, it all comes to mindset and your confidence. If you walk in there and you barely know what you're talking about, you stumbling and fumbling, them landlords are not going to trust you with their house. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. You have to have confidence, the right script. And if you want to know the script, I teach the script in my bundle, but you have to become a student for that. So let me make sure I discount it while I'm on this live stream. I'm gonna make sure I discount my bundle while I'm on this live stream. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So my friend, I house HIV people, and we mix them in with regular people, y'all. You don't have to sit here and quarantine them and no, they're regular people. And then they have medications that they take to prevent them from, spreading it and stuff like that, I think. But My friend, she housed somebody with HIV. You too. Hit the thumbs up on the stream. Thank you, because y'all sitting here watching me. Y'all not saying nothing. Can I do it in a one-bedroom apartment in Middlesex, New Jersey? I wouldn't recommend. I recommend all my people in this chat, if you're going to start your housing program, start with a minimum of a 3-bedroom. A minimum of 3-bedroom. Honestly, I like 4 bedrooms, y'all, but you can get away with a 3-bedroom. But it won't make sense for you to start with a 1-bedroom. You're not going to make no money. No money. Stop being messy. I'm cracking up. But yeah. So here's the thing with y'all that want to do these co-ed houses, right? They will be messing around, even if they old and crippled. Because my friend, she has a co-ed location, and then one of the guys is HIV positive. But our job as housing providers, we don't go around in the house and telling people, oh, this person have HIV. Like, that's not your job to be doing that. And that's what I tell all my people. When you come into this program, what you got going on is your business. If you choose to share what you have going on with another person, that's fine. Like, for example, one of the guys that I house, he's HIV positive too, but he tells the people in the house that he has it. So it's up to them. You can't sit here and force nobody and be like, oh, you got to disclose. That's up to them if they want to share it or not. But they're just regular people. But my friend, she had a co-ed location, and one of the ladies ended up messing with one of the guys that had it. And I'm like, what the heck? I said, did you tell them anything? She was like, no, but I hope they use protection. She was like, no, but I hope they use protection. But listen, that your business as a housing program, as a housing provider, is just to provide these people a safe place to call home. Yes, we could set rules for them and tell them, hey, don't be messing around. But these people going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. And if you mess around and get caught up and contract something, that's on you. So that's the only difference is. So this is not a group home, y'all. This is not a personal care home or an assisted living. We are shared living, independent housing. So we do not have to go through zoning. We do not have to go through certification because we are only providing these people a bed space. Girl, that's not funny. I'm just saying, like, listen, that has nothing to do with me. Y'all better practice safe stuff on your own dime because King Ken said, "Oh yeah, my clients definitely be messing around," and that be the part, y'all. We can't even in them nursing homes they be messing around too. Like we can't really prevent that. So yeah, when it come to housing that population, just know that I just tell everybody, listen, what you got is your business, and if you choose to share that with the house, that's fine, but I don't disclose nobody's status on anything. So y'all not supposed to be messing around no way. So if you catch something, that's on you. But that's why I don't really care for the co-ed housing, y'all. It gets a little tricky, but I did have one location that's co-ed that I transitioned back to men only because one of the ladies ended up getting approved for her apartment. So the lady that was in the room with her, I moved her to our women's location. So she don't have to be in the house with all men because that's a liability. So that's another thing. Are you allowed to make a basement a room? So here's the thing. Hey, Pastor Yvette. So when it comes to what spaces you can use for your housing program, it can be any space that's livable, y'all. So as long as they got some type of windows and they got a bathroom that they can use and it's clean, it's safe, it's comfortable, I definitely would go for it. The way that I put myself in mind is this somewhere that I would want to stay if I had to stay here? So just think of it like that. If it's like a little basement and they don't get no sunlight down there, I would not do that. So still at the end of the day, y'all use decency, these are still people that we dealing with. So just keep that in mind and keep yourself in mind. Is this somewhere I would stay if I had to? And that's how I decorate all my houses, y'all. Every house that I have, I put myself in a mindset. If I was ever down in this situation, would I feel comfortable here? Would this make me feel better? And honestly, that's what helps a lot of my beds stay filled, y'all. That's why so many of my houses, like the people never want to leave because when you make your house feel like a home, That keeps your beds filled. And it's a lot of people in this business where they don't care about people. They just all for the money. And it shows because when you don't care about people, your house gonna be nasty. Don't nobody want to stay there. You stacking people up in the bunk beds. It's all gonna make a difference. So that's why when you get started in this business, y'all, you have to think about the people first. Even though we're not licensed, even though nobody's going to come knock on your door and say, let me inspect this house, they're not going to do that. But still move with decency, still move with respect. These are still our people that we have to make sure that they're happy because guess what? They're paying you to stay there. If these people are in your home and they're not happy, you're going to have an empty bed. And let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. When your beds are empty, you are not making no money in this business. We make money from having people in these beds. So we get paid. I teach you guys how to get paid by the bed. Everybody type bed in the chat. So this is not a private room that we're renting out. We're doing shared rooms. And I always tell my students, the more people you house, the more money you can make. The more people you house, the more money you can make. And that's why we are able to make 5K months, 10K months just off of shared living, independent housing, because the people in the demographic that we serve, y'all, they need a safe place to call home. And if it's not for housing programs like yourself, and if it's not for housing programs like us, the people that we house, they would either be in the streets, in a shelter, or they would be in a jail or prison. There's really no in between. And that's why housing programs are so needed, y'all. This is why I get on these platforms and teach you the opportunity that's available for you. You ain't got to start no group home. You ain't got to start a personal care home. Half of y'all will never be in a position to start those things because number one, you got backgrounds, you barely have 40K in the bank, you don't own property. But for this business model that I teach you guys, you don't need to have a license, you don't need a staff, you don't need a certification, you don't need to own property. As long as you got a business mind and a genuine heart to want to help people, you can set up a housing program, even in your own house. You can go rent a house and set up a housing program. And that's what I choose to do, y'all. I have 6 of these, 6 properties and 49 beds. So we get paid by the bed. The more people you house, the more money you can make. The more people you help, the more money you can make. No, you don't have to be a nonprofit. No nonprofit, y'all. This is a for-profit business that I teach you guys to set up in any city, in any state. Because guess what? The need for housing is everywhere. We are in a housing crisis. We are in a housing crisis. And the way that we're going to solve this solution is through offering safe housing to the people in need. And this is what I teach y'all. You ain't got to be a nurse. You ain't got to be a CNA. And you don't have to have 24-hour staff. The people that we house, y'all, they are independent and high functioning. Everybody type independent in the chat. Everybody type independent in the chat. When you focus on housing people that can do for themselves, and what does that mean? They can make their own food. They can bathe themselves up. They can take their own medication. You don't have to go get licensed for that. You don't have to get zoned for that. You don't have to be certified. These are people that can live on their own. They just need you to give them the opportunity to provide them safe living. They can't go out and rent from a landlord the way you and I can. And let me tell y'all why. The demographic that we house, they have bad credit. They have backgrounds. They're on parole and probation. What traditional landlord is going to sit here and rent to somebody that got bad credit, that got background checks? I mean, things on their background. These are people that have bad credit. A traditional landlord would never, but a traditional landlord, they would rent to you as a housing program, as a company that provides safe housing to people in need. So that's what the difference is, y'all. That's what the difference is. That's what I teach you guys to set these up in your cities and your states. Because what we really do, we're offering second chance housing. This is second chance housing. Because if this not for housing programs like us and such as yourself, the people that we house, the demographics that we serve, they would either be on the streets, in the shelter, sharing a room with 50 other people, or they would be in prison or jail. There's really no in between. And that's why we're so needed, y'all. That's why we're so needed. Information, please. I want to invest. I think the price is still the same. The price is currently discounted now. The price is discounted now. Yesterday's price, not today's price. Y'all be waiting and twiddling y'all thumbs. Y'all be twiddling y'all thumbs. That's why we have Klarna and Afterpay. But if you're just joining, if you've ever had desire to get paid from housing, veterans, seniors, people coming home from prison, people that are transitioning from homelessness but can still live independently, you need to be setting you up a housing program, y'all. This is a new wave. This is the business that I started back in 2021, and I'm still doing it to this day. I have 6 houses and 49 beds. I do not own no property. I rent all these properties with permission. So that means the landlords, they know what I do and they love what I do. And that's why I teach you guys how to go in your community and find these landlords and find these property management companies that'll give you full permission to start your very own housing program. No experience needed. You ain't got to be no nurse, no CNA. As long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help people, you can thrive in this space. Hey, Fancy Boss Diva. Start from the beginning, boo. If you're just joining, type just join in the chat. If you're just joining, type just join in the chat. And I'm going to give you guys the rundown on what it is that I do and how you can set these up in your cities and your states. But I'm going to need y'all to get the likes up to 10K likes and hit share on the live stream. Share this live, repost this live, all of that good stuff. Just join. Okay, welcome in, welcome in. So, if you're just joining, my name is Lane. I'm based in Metro Atlanta. I get paid from housing the homeless because I started a housing program. And now I teach you guys how to set these housing programs up in your cities and your states. I have a total of 6 properties and 49 beds. And guess what? I do not own no property. So if you're in the chat and you think you got to own property to do this, no, you don't. You can rent with permission. And I'm going to teach you guys that. Just stay tuned. So you can rent with permission. And there is no cap on how many houses you can have in this business, y'all. Let me tell y'all what this is not. This is not a group home. This is not a personal care home. This is not an assisted living. So what does that mean for you? You don't got to go through licensing. You don't have to go through zoning. You don't have to have 24-hour staff in these homes. You don't have to own these properties. As long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help people, you can set these up. I have students that are felons, y'all. Students that are felons and that's killing it in this space. They got 2, 3, 4 homes up and running and they're all filled and they don't own no property. So if you think that you got a background, I don't care about that. You can still win in this space. If you got a middle school education, a high school education, that's okay. You can still set this up and do amazing. I don't care if you got bad credit because guess what? Credit is not needed for this, y'all. You don't need credit. If you got a mouthpiece on you or you know how to talk to people, credit means nothing. When I tell y'all I pitched my landlords and my property management company so good, they never asked me for a credit check. They never asked me for a background check. None of that stuff. So what we do is we provide safe and structured living for people in need. Everybody type structure in the chat. Everybody type structure in the chat. Because this is not a trap house, y'all. This ain't no rooming house. And this ain't no boarding home. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is going to help you last a long time in this business when you get started with your own housing program. Because we offer structured living for people in need. So what does that mean? So what's the difference between this and a traditional rooming house? The difference is that so I like to kind of think of it, I'll kind of like to explain it like an Airbnb, y'all. If you've ever stayed at an Airbnb, drop a 1 in the chat. Was to my thumbs yesterday. Listen, done missed out. Hey, Chantel. So if you've ever stayed at Airbnb, drop a 1 in the chat. Because before I started this housing program business, y'all, I used to do Airbnb. And it's very similar in a sense. Now, when you're staying in someone's Airbnb, you don't have to own the house to do Airbnb. You can rent, but you are a guest in someone else's home. You're a guest in someone else's home, which means that you have to follow the rules that Airbnb host set for their house. So that means you can't be up in there throwing parties. You can't be up in there having extra guests. It's the same thing with your housing program. We run a safe housing program, which means the people that we house, they're called our guests or our participants. So everybody type program in the chat. So I teach you guys how to create your own housing program. Your own housing program. This is not no rooming house. This is a program. You are not nobody's landlord. Because that's what get a lot of y'all caught up. Oh, I gotta go through eviction. I don't deal with evictions, y'all. When you set yourself up a certain way, when you structure your housing program a certain way, what are you going through eviction process for? For what? I teach y'all how to set this up the right way to prevent all of that. When I tell y'all I've been doing this since 2021, I've never had to do an eviction in my life, and I never will. Because when my people come into my housing program, I already set the standard for them. I already lay out all the rules for them. What do you call them again? Participants. So this is your program. And the people in your program are a participant or they are a guest. So somebody type participant in the chat. I want y'all to take notes. And TikTok, let's get this live stream up to 10K. Do you put one BF per room? What does that mean? What does that mean? So the people that we house in our program, y'all, these are our participants. They're not your tenants. So stop calling these people tenants. These are your participants, because guess what? In order for them to be in your program, they are signing to follow your rules. Same thing as the Airbnb. You go stay in somebody's Airbnb, you're signing off to follow their rules and do what you got to do. If not, them people had a right to say, you need to leave from my house or I'm gonna call the police. Same thing with your program. They know what time it is when they sign them rules and they come up in your program. They already know what time it is. And when I tell y'all, that's why you want to structure your housing program in a way that they're not going to play with you. My people know not to play with me. When I release someone from the program, they leave willingly. I've never had nobody like, "Oh no, you got to evict me," because I already set the tone for them when they came in the door. And that's what the difference is. You have to have structure. Structure for these people. If not, they're going to wild out. Now you think you about to start you a rooming house and a boarding home? Guess what? Dumb people thinking that they're tenants. I don't teach y'all to set up trap houses, rooming houses, and boarding homes, because there is no control and there is no structure in those type of establishments. The difference between us and the rooming house is we have way more control of our property. And let me tell y'all, when I first started out in this business, the biggest mistake I made was renting out by private rooms. When I tell y'all those people was in there doing all type of crazy stuff, I had no control over the house. Even though I had my rules, them people, I had one lady in there selling herself. I had another person, another single mom in there sleeping with another guy. I'm like, you got 4 kids that's in here with you and you messing around with the. It was crazy, y'all. There is no control in when you're renting out rooms. And that's what I don't like that. And I don't teach all that nonsense. So when you set your housing program up as a program, think of it like an Airbnb with rules and that they have to follow. If they don't follow it, guess what? They leaving. They not paying us rent, y'all. They paying us program fees. So you have to set yourself as a mindset of a program. Stop calling yourself people landlords. Minute you start telling these people that they're tenants, when you try to put them out, guess what? You got to evict me. You got to evict what? Evict what? Let me tell y'all, right? I had one guy try to be funny with me. One guy tried to be funny with me. And here's the thing, because I house people from all walks of life, right? So I house mental health population, I house seniors, veterans. So one of the rules, so here's the benefit of having rules in your housing program, right? So one of my non-negotiables is if you have some type of mental health condition or any type of condition, you have to be able to take your own medications. Because remember, y'all, this is not a group home, this is not a personal care home, and this is not an assisted living. So if they're not willingly able to take their own meds, guess what? You cannot stay up in here. You're gonna have to get removed. So I had one guy, yeah, well, this ain't the room for you if you're trying to rush me. You're gonna have to stick around to find another teacher. But I had one guy that I had to put out because he stopped taking his mental health meds. And when it comes to that mental health population, y'all, you gotta be careful with who you accept because they can flip your house upside down. So one of the guys, he was off his meds. And as you know, one of the rules of the program, if you're not taking your meds, you out of there. So guess what? He stopped taking his meds. I put him out. He called himself being funny. So he calls the police. And listen, he knows he's in a program. They know that this is a program. You're not no tenant here. You don't pay rent. He gonna call the daggone police. Yeah, my landlord is trying to evict me. Can you come here? My landlord's trying to evict me. So listen, y'all, the police showed up. And this is why I tell all my students, when you follow my blueprint, you say what I tell you to say, you do what I tell you to do, it's going to save you a whole lot of headache. So yeah, he called himself calling the police. The police came down there. And then I was there when the police got there. And I explained to the police what exactly is that's going on. And guess who the police sided with? Me. Me. He was like, sir, this is not what you explained to me. You're in a program. I'm gonna need for you to get your things and start packing up. So that's why I tell y'all be talking about, oh, eviction. I don't deal with that. I know how to set my program. I know what to say to these people. So if you don't know what you're doing, just say that. If you want to learn from the queen, just say that. But I've never, my stuff don't miss. My stuff don't miss. The only time it misses if you scary, you like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't. I've been doing this since 2021, zero eviction. When I tell them to leave, guess what? They leaving. They leaving. They not playing. That's why I tell y'all, this is a program. Everybody type program in the chat because I want y'all to understand what it is that we do. We offer safe and structured living for people in need. We offer safe and structured living for people in need through our own housing program. You create your own housing program. Think of it like an Airbnb, y'all. You set the rules for your house so you can make your program as strict as you like, or you can make your program as lenient as you like. It's completely up to you. Me personally, I run a strict program in real life, so best believe my housing program is strict too. I don't play those type of games. I do not play those type of games. You do not have to live with them. So these individuals, they live by themselves. So I have 6 locations and 49 beds, and they live by themselves just fine. Now, I do have some students that start out living with them, and that's completely up to you. So that's up to your comfort level and all of that. But yes, so when you set it up as a housing program, you can make your program as strict as you like or as lenient as you like. So I'm going to tell y'all a few of my top non-negotiable rules that I have set in my housing program. Number 1, no substances, no alcohol. Because if they about to be up in there, getting high, that's a liability. You got to go. So you have to set your non-negotiables for your own program. So that's what the difference is. So one of my top non-negotiable, you cannot be up in there getting high and drinking, because it'll be a thin line between a trap house and the housing program. So you have to give these people rules to follow. If you don't, it's going to be a mess. And the city going to come and shut your tail down. Listen, y'all, I've been doing this since 2021. I ain't never got shut down because I know how to run my program. I know how to keep my people in check. And that's what I teach y'all. Keep these people in check. Run a safe program. Make your money in peace. Nobody's going to come bother you. Now, the minute you got about 10, 30 guys out in the front of the house smoking and doing all this crazy stuff, guess what? The city going to come knocking at your door because that looks like a problem. But I teach you guys how to run safe houses and structured living. And that's what's going to help you stay open for a long time. You have to put rules in place if you want your business to last. If not, it's not going to last, y'all. So that's what the difference is. So we are a housing program. Now, let me tell y'all what this is not. This is not a group home. This is not a personal care home. And this is not an assisted living. We are not giving out 3 meals a day. Everybody type no food in the chat because I know y'all going to ask, well, do we get them food? What about food? Everybody type no food in the chat. Everybody type no food in the chat. We are not giving out any food. We are not giving any medications. And we are not bathing nobody up. The people that we house, they can go in the kitchen and make their own food. They're responsible for their own food. They know how to take their own meds. They know how to bathe themselves up. That is not your job to do. If you want to start giving these people care, guess what? You're going to need a license for that. So we don't offer care, no medical. So yeah, that's good. Type no medical in the chat. As long as you focus on providing these people housing only, no medical, you do not need a license to do this. You do not need a certification to do this, and you do not need to go through zoning to do this. I'm gonna get into the populations that you can house in a minute. So just sit tight. So yeah, I want y'all to really understand what it is that we do and how anybody can start this up. This is why I have students that are felons. This is why I have students that don't have no experience. I have students that are single mothers that are starting up 2, 3, 4 housing programs because when you keep it simple, you don't need all that extra stuff. So no care, y'all. Housing only, housing only. Now, you might be thinking, well, how we getting paid if these people is homeless? Like, what's the money looking like? If you want to know how we get paid in this business, type how in the chat, and I'm gonna tell y'all how we getting paid. Because it's not how you think. It's not how you think, y'all. A lot of people think, oh, you need grants to do this. You don't need no grants. You don't need no grants for this business. This is a for-profit business, y'all. I do not teach y'all nonprofits. So the way we get paid as a housing program and as a housing provider, this is strictly private pay. So private pay means that the people that we house pay us directly. So you're not getting money through grants. Everybody type no grants. You're not getting money through grants. You're not getting money through the state. And you're not getting money through insurance. No grants are needed because the people we house have their own money. The people we house have their own money. When you focus on housing people that get their own money, y'all, what do you need a grant for? You don't. And that's why I teach my students how to go after people that have money already. Money already. And a lot of y'all want to be getting these grants. You want to get funding through the state. If you want to go that route, guess what? You're going to need to be licensed, zoned, certified, permitted. The way that I'm teaching you guys, no zoning is needed. No certification is needed. I'm not telling y'all what I think. I'm telling y'all what I know because I've been doing this since 2021 and I'm still doing it to this day. I'm still doing it to this day. And I have 6 properties and 49 beds. And guess what? I don't own not one property. I don't own not one property and I'm having my way. So for the people that's saying that you need a zoning, no, you do not. There's ways around everything in this life. There's ways around everything in this life. I'm in Georgia. But I have a lot of students that are in other states that's no zone that they didn't go to no zoning. Because honestly, y'all, a lot of y'all don't know what y'all doing and y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And y'all gonna sit there and call zoning. Yeah, I'm trying to open up this group home and house 8 unrelated individuals. Like, what are you doing that for? And then them people like, oh, that sounds like a group home. That sounds like a group home. You're gonna need a certificate, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need a sprinkler system. And that's why y'all extra stuff out the game. When I tell y'all people been doing this since before I was born, they've been doing it and they still doing it to this day. But y'all be doing the most, trying to give these people 3 meals a day. You trying to bathe people up. You trying to give out meds. The minute you start doing that, yeah, the city gonna come shut your tail down because you're doing too much. And I don't teach y'all that nonsense. I teach y'all how to do this the right way, stay compliant, and get paid, and make your money in peace. And they're gonna say it's illegal because they want to scare you. There's nothing illegal about providing safe housing, y'all. We are protected by the Fair Housing Act. We house a protected class. So if you mean to tell me that you discriminating against these disabled people, you got a lawsuit on your head. And the city already know. So y'all just don't know what y'all saying or what to do. That's why you need to find the right mentor that can really hold your hand and coach you the right way. Because I've been doing this since 2021 and the city can't clock my tea. The city came to one of my houses one time, y'all. And guess what? They couldn't find no fault what we was doing and they left and went about their business. That's why you need to learn from somebody that's really doing this. I didn't learn off Chat GBT. This is my real life. I didn't learn off chat. I got 6 of these babies. I done been through anything you could think of. People jumping out the windows, people trying to unalive they stuff. Listen, I done been through it all and I'm still standing. Zoning done came by the house. What's going on here? They said that you running what? What are we running here? You telling me it's illegal to house these people? So listen, y'all, you don't need no zoning. Everybody type no zoning in the chat. No zoning. And I'm telling y'all that my students are all throughout different states and they ain't got no zoning. There is no zoning. You don't need no zoning. When you stick to providing these people housing only, the way I teach you guys, what do you have to worry about? The only time it's illegal is if you're operating like you're a group home, you operating like a personal care home, and you're doing like you're providing care. I don't teach y'all that. I teach y'all to keep it simple, housing only. Just get these people a bed. Listen, I'm not telling you to get these people no 3 meals a day. I'm telling you to create them a safe space where they can have somewhere to lay their head. That's all I'm telling y'all. A simple bed, y'all. You ain't got to sit here and babysit nobody. You ain't gotta give out no medication. Only thing your job is to do is to get a house, furnish it, and get these people somewhere nice to lay their head. Because if it's not for housing programs like us, the people that we house, they be in a shelter sharing a room with 50 other people. So we're doing a great thing. You might be thinking, oh, that's disgusting. You making these adult people share a room. And what? My people love it here. I got 49 of these beds and they love it here, y'all. They love it here because they rather be in this shared bed than to be sleeping on a thin mat in a shelter with 30 other guys in one room. So you got to make it make sense. We really offering a great thing for our community. We're giving them safe housing. We're giving them family-like environments. We're giving them a place that they can have a sense of belonging. A lot of if you guys only understood how many seniors that are out there. And a lot of seniors end up in these housing programs, y'all, because number one, they don't have no children. I didn't realize how many seniors didn't have children until I started this business. There are so many seniors out there that's just winging it, and it is so sad. They don't have no support system, especially the men. The men have it the worst, y'all. The men ain't got no girlfriend, no wife. They ain't got no kids. So they just out here winging it, bouncing from shelter to shelter. That's why they need y'all. That's why they need you to open these homes up in your cities. I'm only in Metro Atlanta. I can't house everybody. I'm good with 6 houses, y'all. I don't want no more than that. I have other businesses that I run. So for me to sit here and I can't do it. That's why I teach y'all how to start these up in your cities and your states. That's because they womanize. I'm cracking up. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the men got it bad, y'all. The men ain't got no support. They ain't got no children. And I don't know, but that's why they end up in these homes. That's why I tell y'all, get y'all housing programs. Those would be your best ones. When I tell y'all I love housing men, the men are my favorite population. The old men too, because they listen. All you gotta do is tell them what to do. They're gonna sit down and they're gonna listen because they need somewhere to lay their head, right? So that's why I'm telling y'all, them old men gonna be the best ones. We ain't all bad. There's still some good ones out there. Hello. All right now. Well, you ain't gonna be in the home when you get older, but for the other ones that's acting up, they gonna be in the home. So that's what I'm telling y'all. Go out there and get them men so they can be in your beds because they ain't got no choice. They'd rather be in this bed than that shelter. So that's what the difference is. So the men have it the worst, y'all. The women is not as bad for the women because there are so many resources out here for women and children. There's a whole lot of resources for women, but when it comes to these men don't really have the support that the women do. So that's why they end up in these homes. And that's why you need to start your housing program so you can house these men, give them a safe space and a place to call home. And it adds to their life, y'all. A lot of these people, they can't afford these group homes. They can't afford these personal care homes. And that's why they end up in shelters because they only get a small check. Now, back to how we get paid. If you want to know how we get paid, drop how in the chat because I know we got some new people that join. So if you guys want to know how we get paid, drop how in the chat. And this is how we get our money, y'all. Because we don't get money through the state. We don't get money through grants. We don't get money through insurance. We get money. The way we get paid, y'all, this is called a private pay business model. So private pay means that the people that we house pay us directly. Even though these people are homeless, y'all, they have money. And I teach you guys how to find these people with money. Everybody that we house get a check. Everybody type check in the chat. Everybody type check. So the people that I house, they get a Social Security check, a disability check, a VA check, a retirement check, or a paycheck. So you want to house people that get checks. That's what the difference is. If they don't get a check, they don't belong in your housing program. We don't house nobody for free, y'all. This is not charity work. This is not a nonprofit. This is a for-profit business. We got to get paid for what we do. There is nothing wrong with getting paid to provide safe housing for people in need. We're doing a great thing for our community, y'all. We getting these people off the streets. We're giving them a safe space, and they're paying us in return. They're paying us in return. And that's another thing why you don't need to be licensed, y'all. If these people are paying you their own money, what do you need to be licensed for? The only time that you're going to need to be licensed is if you're getting money from the state, you're getting money from the state, you're getting grants from the state, or you're getting money from insurance. Because guess what? The minute you start accepting money from the state, insurance, and grants, guess what? You're going to need to be licensed. You got to follow by their rules. You got to follow by their regulations. And the minute you want some funny business, guess what? They're going to come lock your tail up. You don't do right by that money, they locking you up. You don't do right by them people, they locking you up. But when it comes to independent housing programs, these people are paying you. The minute they don't like how they being treated, guess what? They take their money, they go somewhere else. There's nobody chasing you down. What'd you do to this person? No. If they don't like what the service that they're getting at your housing program, they're going to take their little check. They're going to go find another housing provider and go stay over there. Now, the minute you start trying to get money from the state, you trying to get these contracts, guess what? The minute you want some funny stuff or you do something, you got to get audited through the state, y'all. You got to go through their inspections. The minute you don't do something right, that money's stopping immediately. That money is stopping immediately. But with the people that we house, they pay us every single month because they need a place to lay their head. If they don't pay, they don't stay. If they don't pay, they don't stay. So that's why I tell you guys to find people that get a check. Everybody type check in the chat. You only want to house people that get checks. How are you fitting 49 beds and 6 properties? Because I have big houses. So everybody type check in the chat. You only want to house people that get guaranteed money from the government. We're not housing nobody for free, y'all. We're not looking for no grants. We're not looking for no insurance money. Because the minute you start trying to do all of that, you're going to need to be licensed, zoned, and certified. Remember, the way that I teach you guys to get paid, you don't have to be licensed to do this. You don't have to be zoned to do this. You don't have to be certified. And that's why any everyday person can start this up. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. You don't have to have 24-hour staff. All you need to do is provide housing only to these independent people. So now we know what it is that we do. We know who it is how we get paid. Now let's talk about the type of people that you can house in these homes. Let me show y'all. So this is how we make our money, y'all. We do shared rooms. Everybody type shared in the chat. Everybody type shared in the chat. So I teach you guys how to get paid from shared rooms. Now you might be thinking, what type of person going to want to share a room? Like, who going to do that? I'm not sharing no room with nobody. Listen, you and people like you and me won't share no room because guess what? We ain't got no choice. But for the people that we house, they have no choice. It's either this shared room or it's the shelter. It's either this shared room or it's the streets. So this is how we make our money, y'all. We get paid by the bed. So these beds are your income streams. Let's think of it like that. So let's say you have 8 beds in one house. You have 8 streams of income. You have 8 streams of income. So a 4-bedroom house, y'all, is not just a 4-bedroom house. It's an 8 stream of income minimum. So you get 8 streams of income out of a 4-bedroom minimum. Now, the type of people that I like to house, so you can house so many different populations, but here's the top populations I enjoy housing because they don't give me a whole lot of problems like that, and they pay every single month. I don't have to chase them down for no money. And so let me tell y'all all the different populations that you can house. So there's people that house single women and children. There's people that house seniors, veterans. You can house people that are disabled but can still live independently in these shared rooms. You can house people that are living with HIV in these shared rooms. You can also house people that are in recovery. So that's people that's recovering from substances and alcohol and things of that nature. TikTok, let's get the likes up to 20K. Let's get up to 20K likes. I'm giving y'all a lot of free game and y'all not tapping this live stream. Let's get up to 20K likes if y'all want me to keep going. But those are the different type of demographics that you can house in these shared beds. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go find working people. Working people is not going to want to share no room. That's why I tell y'all, find people that get a check. If they get a check every single month, they're not gonna mind sharing a room. And guess what? If they don't want to share a room, have a nice day. This ain't the place for you. Because I got 49 people, y'all, that don't mind sharing a room. They're out there. You just got to find them. And I teach my students how to find them in their community. They're out there. They're out there. We're listening all in. That's it. Period. Period. Shout out to y'all in the chat. But let's keep tapping the live. Let's keep getting the likes up. So yes, so you can house so many different demographics, but my top favorite demographic, really, y'all, I like my veterans. I like my people that come home from prison because they listen. I like the people that get a check every single month. I like the seniors. I like anybody that get money. Anybody that get money. Everybody type money in the chat. Everybody type money in the chat. I like the house. Anybody that gets some money. If you get some money and you can follow these rules, welcome home. So that's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Anybody that get money is who you need to be housing. If they get that check, welcome home. Simple as that. So that's what I want to tell y'all. Don't sit here and box yourself into one demographic. Anybody that get money is who you should be filling your beds with. As long as they get a check and they follow them rules that you set, let's go. Welcome home. That part. That part. Now, for y'all that's in the chat, you might be thinking, well, how can I get a house? Do I got to own this house? Do I got to rent this house? Now, that part. So anybody that gets a check every month, that's who you should be housing in your housing program. That's who y'all should be housing in your housing program, okay? So don't forget that. Write that in your notes. Anybody with a check. Now let's get to the type of property. Let's get to the money-making property now. Let's get to the money-making property now. Y'all, let's keep tapping it live. Let's get up to 30K likes. But okay, so I know we got two different type of people in this chat. I know you're like, do we gotta own a house? Can we rent the house? So I want to see who we got in the room. If you own property, I want you to type a 1 in the chat. If you don't own property, I want you to type a 2. So if you own the property, I want you to type a 1. If you don't own property, there is no right or wrong answer, y'all. I just want to know who's in the room. So if you own property, type a 1. If you don't own property, type a 2. All right, we got a lot of homeowners. Shout out to the homeowners in the chat. All right, now, who we got on YouTube? We got one homeowner. 3, I don't own property yet. Okay, now, for the ones that said that they don't own property, that's okay. I don't own not one property, y'all. I have 6 houses that I rent with permission. Everybody type permission in the chat. Everybody type permission in the chat. I have 6 houses that I rent with permission. So what does that mean? That means the landlords, they know what I do and they love what I do. So yes, even if you don't own property, you can still rent a house with permission from the landlord or the property management company as long as they give you the green light. And guess what? My people give me the green light. So that's why I teach you guys how you can get permissions from the landlords and from the property management companies. Because as long as you know what to say, they're going to let you have your way. And that's how I'm always having my way with these landlords, y'all. So even if you don't own property, that don't stop nothing. That don't stop nothing. And if you thinking that you need credit, guess what? You don't even need no credit to do this. Everybody type no credit in the chat, and I'm gonna tell y'all how. You do not need no credit to rent these houses from these landlords. Everybody in this chat type no credit, because that be our biggest hang up. Well, my credit is bad and this and that. I don't care. I'm not hearing that. When I tell y'all I pitch my landlord and my property management company so good, meaning that I told them what it was that I did, how I could benefit them. They did not ask me for a credit check. They did not ask me for a bank statement, and they did not ask me for a background check. The only thing that they asked me was, do you have first month rent and deposit? I said, absolutely. And they said, okay, so we're going to send over a portal, a link to sign up for the portal so you can make your first payment. That's it, y'all. You don't need credit. Everybody type no credit. So I don't care if your credit is bad. If you know how to work this, it ain't nothing to get a yes from a landlord. When I tell you I talked that man so good, He didn't ask me about no credit check. He said, "Well, do you got first month rent and deposit if we send you over to the portal?" Absolutely. I'm in Georgia, but I got students that took my method and ran it all across the US. And that's why, and listen, that's why my students that are felons are able to get houses without no background check, no credit check. One of my top students, y'all, her name is Kaya. Kaya just started this business last year. She did prison time and everything. She came home, she took my program, and the first thing she asked me, she was like, "Does it matter that I have a felony?" I said, "Girl, no." When I tell y'all she my top student, she invested in my class replay. She took the information, executed it. She got started within 2 weeks with a felony and all. With a felony and all. So that should tell y'all something. Another one of my guys that just came home from prison. I love felons, y'all. I really do. I love it because another one of my top students, his name is Tony. Tony found me on live stream the same way that y'all watching me while he was in prison. And guess what? He said, "I'm coming home in a few months. I really want to get into this opportunity. How can you be my mentor?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Once you invest in my program, I'll be a mentor, but you're gonna have to invest in yourself first." He said, "As soon as I touch home, I'm gonna get the course and I'm going to get started." When I tell y'all Tony came home a few months ago, he came home, I think, back in December or November, one of them. But Tony had reached out and inboxed me and was like, "I got approved for my first house." And while he's living in a halfway house. So that should tell y'all something. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your excuse is. If you take the information that I give you and you really execute, the sky is the limit. And that's just that. These people are not asking for background checks when you know what to say, when you know how to maneuver, when you walking in these spaces and talking to these landlords. They're not sitting here, "Well, what's your background?" This is why I love independent housing programs, y'all. This is why I teach y'all housing programs, because anybody can win in this space. I don't care what walk of life you done did. I don't care who counted you out in life. As long as you got a business mind and a heart to really want to help people, you can thrive in this space. And that's why my student Kaya started this housing program, because her target was after people in the system just like her, to give them opportunity, to show them that you ain't got to sit here and take what people give you. Start you in this housing program. She helped them get jobs. She helped them get on their feet. That's what you call making an impact while making an income. That's what you call, everybody type impact in the chat. Yeah, we get into the money, but guess what? We impacting our people at the same time. And that's what the difference is. That's why we're able to create these housing programs and last a long time. That's why I'm able to be in business since 2021, y'all. I've been doing this since 2021, 6 houses, 49 beds, and my people love it here because it's bigger than housing. Yes, we give them housing, but we give them community-like environment. We speak life into our people. And that's what's going to make a difference for you when you get started in this business. Period. Impact. So heavy on the impact. When you focus on providing impact to these people and giving them safe spaces, they never going to want to leave you. Never. So if you in this chat and you thinking that you can't qualify to rent a house because you got a background, you got bad credit, you ain't got no bank statements, these landlords don't care. They do not care. Now, back to the ones that said that they own property. So guess what? For the ones that in the chat that own property, that's even better. The only thing is that you don't have to get permission from no one to do what you want to do in your house. So for the ones that's the homeowners in the chat, guess what? You definitely can start up your own housing program in the house that you have. I always recommend people to start their housing programs with what they have that's available for them. And most of my students, y'all, I really advocate for my students to rent, because when I first got started, I was not in a position to buy a home, and that's okay. A lot of us are not in position to go out there and buy property, but that ain't stopping nothing. You can rent. As long as you rent with permission. Everybody type permission in the chat for the new people. Everybody type permission in the chat for the new people. As long as you have permission from these property management companies and these landlords, you can run a housing program and property you don't own. And that's how I'm able to do this since 2021 in these rentals, y'all. That's what the difference is. Now, for the ones in the chat that's like, "Well, how much money do I need? How much money?" Honestly, y'all, it's subjective to where you're located. When I first got started in this business, only thing you're gonna need when it comes to if you're renting, the most thing you're gonna need is first month rent and deposit. Somebody type first month rent deposit. First month rent and deposit. Because that's what you're gonna need at the end of the day. You want to rent these people houses, you gotta have first month rent and deposit. What's this? I don't know who that is. But yes, so make sure y'all screenshot that in the chat. So you're more than likely gonna need first month rent and deposit. When I first started, my rent was only $1,850, and my deposit was $1,850. So I only needed $3,700 to get in the door. And before I started this business, I had an Airbnb business. So the way I got my money was I took the money from my Airbnb business and I reinvested it into this business. Also, when it came to furnishing, I already had furniture. I already had all that stuff. You ain't got to sit here and deck this place out like no Airbnb, y'all. These people just want a safe, clean, functional place. You ain't got to do the most to get these people in your doors. You really don't. So for the ones that's thinking that you need all this furniture, and you don't need all that. These people are in the shelter sleeping on these thin mats. You think that they care that you ain't got 30-inch screen TVs in every room? Them people do not care. They want a place to lay their head. As long as you got a bed up in there, that's what's going to help you get paid. Everybody type bed in the chat. As long as you got a bed in that house for them to lay. Let me show y'all. Long as you got this bed up in there, you gonna make you some money. Ain't nobody think about no couch. Ain't nobody think about no TV. Get these people a bed, please. Let's start there. Let's start with the bed. Because this is how we making our money up in here. That part. So that should be your number one priority. Not sitting here putting up pictures on the wall. You can do all that later. All you need is a bed and Wi-Fi. You know how people be on TikTok saying you want to make money? All you need is a phone and a Wi-Fi. All you need is a bed and Wi-Fi. Everybody type bed and everybody type a bed and Wi-Fi in the chat. Look, all you need is a twin bed and some Wi-Fi. You can listen, you want 10K months? All you need is a bed and some Wi-Fi. Y'all funny today. I'm crying. All you need is a bed and Wi-Fi. You don't even need no phone. You got a bed and some Wi-Fi, we can get you paid. We can get you paid with this bed and this Wi-Fi right up in here. And let me tell y'all why we need the Wi-Fi, because we need them cameras. So we got to keep eyes and ears. Look, as long as you got that Wi-Fi and these beds, you good to go. Them people ain't think about no daggone couch and no all this extra stuff. So yeah, really all you need is a bare minimum to get started. As long as you got that, that's why we turning these beds into monthly income, y'all. I have 49 beds. I get paid 49 times and I only got 6 houses. Now, let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the good stuff about the property. So everybody type property in the chat, because I'm gonna teach y'all the best type of house to start with. Everybody type property in the chat. I want to make sure y'all still with me. YouTube, how y'all doing over there? Sung says, see you in Oakland. So excited. Period. If you're in the chat, I'm gonna be in Oakland teaching housing in person May 30th. So if you're on the West Coast, get your ticket to Oakland. It's MIBIO. You're gonna be learning this in person from the realist, from the queen. Do not miss it, because I will never be on the West Coast teaching housing ever again. Somebody said my city keeps saying I do. Where are you located, Miss Japan? Where are you located? H-Town. I know H-Town, when it comes to setting up housing programs at H-Town, I've heard that H-Town wants you to have a permit. So just get you a permit. Oakland, I'm gonna be having an event May 30th teaching housing. Let me show y'all, and make sure y'all get y'all tickets. So if you want to learn from the queen how to start this up on the West Coast, meet me in Oakland. It's gonna be a vibe. Springfield, Missouri. I have students in Missouri that's doing this. Listen, I got students everywhere that's doing this. Let's get the likes up to 50K, y'all. Let's get up to 50K. But a lot of y'all not saying the right things. I got students in Indiana. I got students in Maryland. I got students in Dallas. One of my top students, her name is Robin, y'all. Robin is doing her biggest one. And the bed prices in Dallas is good money, y'all. So Dallas, Texas, for sure. For sure. Florida, I got so many students in Florida. Yes. I got students in Jacksonville, Ocala, Tampa. Where else? I got students, Port St. Lucie. I got students everywhere in Florida. Pennsylvania, yes. I got students in Philly. Charlotte, got students in New Jersey. Listen, let me show y'all my newest student in New Jersey. My newest student, her name is Corinne. Corinne just opened up in Atlantic City. Corinne just opened up her housing program in Atlantic City. So if you're in New Jersey, yes, I have students in New Jersey that's doing their biggest one. And Chicago too. In Chicago too. So let's get the likes up to 50K, y'all. But back to how to the property that you need, y'all. Because I want to show y'all how to get to 10K months in this business. So I really want to stay on track. But I want Detroit. I got students in Detroit too. Absolutely. Students in MA. Is MA Massachusetts? If so, yes, I do. I have mentees in Massachusetts. All right. I want to show y'all how to get to 10K months in this business, right? Without owning property, without needing to be a group home, personal care home. Got students in Arizona too. Bradenton, is that Florida? Absolutely. So all the places that y'all name, I have students everywhere. Everywhere. So there is no reason why you should not be starting your housing program up. Because listen, y'all, homelessness is everywhere. Homelessness is not just in major cities. I even have students that are in like smaller areas, like the country parts, and they doing their biggest one, got 2, 3, 4 homes. Because guess what? Even in them smaller cities, you're more than likely going to be the only housing provider. Everybody's not doing this, y'all. Everybody's not doing it. So I don't care where you are. As long as you got homeless shelters in your area, you can start this up. There's always going to be a homeless person in every city. And that's just the world we live in. And that's just the world we live in. So let's get back to how we get into these 10K months. If you could use an extra 10K, 5 to 10K month every single month, everybody drop 10K in the chat. Everybody drop 10K in the chat so I can show you how to get to these 10K months in this business. Because I never made 10K in my life until I started a housing program. And I didn't realize how fast I was making this money until I really sat down. How much to charge per bed? You just joined in, Nikki. You must be late. So everybody's going to charge a different bed price. And I'm about to get into how to price beds. So you must just be joining. But yeah, let's get to how we going to get to 10K months, y'all. Now, I'm based in Metro Atlanta, right? So the way we get paid, let me show y'all again for the ones that's just joining. I teach you guys how to get paid by the bed. So we're doing shared rooms, shared living. So you get paid by the bed. We don't get paid by private rooms, y'all. We do shared rooms and we put a minimum of 2 people in one room. And this is how we make our money. In Georgia, I'm gonna give y'all a real life example. I'm in Metro Atlanta. My bed price starts at $750 a month. And that's for me in Metro Atlanta. So everybody's gonna charge a different bed price depending on where they're located and where they at. So I want everybody in the chat to type me the city that you're in, and I'll let you guys know what my students are charging per bed starting rate in your area. Now, everybody in the chat, drop their city. Now, for the people that's in Dallas, my student in Dallas, she starts out at $800 per bed. For California, they're starting at $950 per bed to $1,000 per bed. Louisiana, their bed price is starting at $650 a month per bed. Florida, they're starting about $800 per bed, all the way up to $1,000 per bed. Houston, they starting around like $750, $700 and up. Los Angeles, at least $1,000 per bed for Los Angeles. Now, here's what's going to determine. Arizona is about $850 per bed. So here's what's going to determine how much you guys going to charge in your area. So I've seen people charge as little as $500 per bed, all the way up to $1,500, $1,200 per bed. Now, what's going to determine how much you can charge per bed in your area is going to be 2 things. Number 1 is going to determine the cost of living in your area. So everybody in the chat, type cost of living. A woman in Dallas charging $1K per bed. I believe it. Dallas is expensive. So everybody in the chat, type cost of living. These are the 2 things that's going to determine how much you can charge per bed. Number 1, the cost of living. So if you're in an area like Cali where the cost of living is high, You would not be charging these people no $600 per bed. You're going to be charging a minimum of $950 per bed to $1,000 per bed to up. You shouldn't be charging no less than $1,000, honestly, if you in the West Coast. That's just my opinion. Now, if you're in an area where the cost of living is a little cheaper, like Alabama and all those back city places, I've seen people charge as low as $500 per bed. So, number one, the cost of living is what's going to determine how much you can charge in your area. Number two, the next thing that's going to determine how much to charge per bed is the people that you house, what they can afford. Yeah, South Florida is you're gonna be starting out with at least 1,000 per bed for South Florida. Because I have people in Miami that's near Miami and they charge 1,000 per bed minimum. So that's what you're gonna have to figure out. What's the cost of living in your area and the people that you're housing, how much they can afford to pay you per bed. Now, let me give y'all some perspective about that, right? I charge $750 a month in Metro Atlanta, but a lot of my people are on a fixed income. Everybody type fixed in the chat. Everybody type fixed in the chat. Most of my people are on a fixed income. Now, what does that mean? They don't make over a certain amount and they don't make under a certain amount. Every single month they get the same amount of money. So think about it. If some of my people only get $943 every single month on their check, on their Social Security check. So every single month they're only getting $943. So you would never sit here and charge no person that get only $943, $1,200 per bed because they can't afford that. That's why I charge my people $750 starting out. That's my starting rate. So you want to have your starting bed price. However, I do have some people that pay me $1,000 per bed a month. I do have some people that pay me $1,200 per month per bed. But with the difference between them and my other people, the people that can pay more, they either work a job or they get more money than the people that's on a fixed income that gets a lower income. So you're going to have your low income people, then you're going to have your high income people. So that's going to determine how you can properly price your beds. Now, our job, y'all, is to offer affordable housing. Everybody type affordable in the chat. If you're focused on offering affordable housing to all people, you want to make your bed price something reasonable. Because if your bed price is too high, you're not going to be able to keep those beds filled. And the way we get paid in this business, y'all, the way we get paid is keeping these beds filled. If you don't have people in these beds, you are not making money. If you don't have people in these beds, you are not making money. So we get paid by having these beds filled every single month. And that's why my minimum bed price, y'all, is $750 per month because I need to get at least $1,500 per room. Now, let's get back to how to get to 10K months in this business. Now, when what I teach all of my students when you're first starting out, I like for y'all to start out with at least a 4-bedroom home. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Everybody type 4-2 in the chat. Everybody type 4-2 in the chat. This is how you're going to maximize your money and maximize your income. I would like for y'all to start with a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Just sit tight. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom is going to be your bread and your butter every single time. Every single time. Now, when you have a house that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, the minimum beds you can put in that house is at least 8 beds, y'all. At least you should be able to put a minimum of 8 beds in that 4-bedroom house, because if each of the rooms are big enough to put 2 twin beds, that's where you're going to get your 8 from. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. So remember, the more beds we have, the more money we can make. So that's why I like the 4 bedrooms, because I need all my money. I need all my money. And I'm going to give y'all a real life example from my very first house that I have, and I still have it to this day. So my very first house, y'all, I have 9 beds in that house. But if you're starting with a 4-2, you should be able to put a minimum of 8 beds. Everybody type 8 in the chat. Everybody type their 8s. So if you're starting out with a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, you should be able to get a minimum of 8 beds in there. If the house is not big enough to put 8 beds, it's not going to be worth your trouble. So just pass. If the house is not big enough to put 8 twin beds, you might as well go ahead and leave it alone. It ain't gonna be worth your headache. It really ain't. So yeah. So you want to have a minimum of 8 beds. Now let's do basic math. Let's do basic math. But before we do basic math, I want everybody in this chat. If you can make a certain amount of money every single month where you ain't got to clock in, your bills are taken care of, you can live life on your own terms. How much money a month would you need to make that freedom number? So I want everybody in the chat to drop their freedom number. If you could have your way, how much would you be making every single month? Ashante said 10K months, period. Haven, 35K months, period. 10K months, that part. 7K a month. That's amazing. Everybody drop their freedom number. 25K, period. No less than 10K, period. 25K, 10K, 20K minimum. 4K, 15K, 20K, 40K, period. Listen, all the numbers that y'all dropping in this chat is attainable for you, especially in housing. And I'm gonna teach y'all how to get to that price, how to get to that bet, how to get to that freedom number. In this business, it's going to determine by the beds. So remember, the way we get paid is by the bed. So what you're going to need to do is figure out how many beds is it going to take for you to get to 10K months? How many beds is it going to take for you to get to 20K months? How many beds are you going to need to open to get to your freedom number? This is how I became financially free, y'all, through providing safe housing. I don't got to clock in for no 9 to 5. I ain't got to ask no man for no $200 a week. I don't got to sit here and sling Amazon packages. I don't got to be on my feet all day as a cashier because my houses keep me paid. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all. Create a business for yourself that don't require you to be there 24/7. When you set up one house, y'all, one house is really life-changing. One house was life-changing enough for me. You know what? Nah, 50K months, think big. That part. If even 50K months is attainable in this business, y'all, but you just have to figure out how many beds is it going to take to get you to your freedom number. Now, let's get back to the example of how much money one house can bring you. Let's get back to that example. Now, when I first started out, my first house, it was 9 beds in that house. Typically, I tell y'all to start with 8 beds minimum, but some of these houses are going to be very spacious where you can get more than 8 beds. The most beds I have in one of my houses is 10 beds. It's a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, and I have 10 beds in that house. And it sounds crazy, but the house is so spacious, you wouldn't even feel that there's 10 people in that house. So it's just going to depend on how big the house is, how much space. So even though I'm telling y'all 8 minimum, you might be able to get 9, you might be able to get 10. I'm not telling y'all to put 20 people in one house now. Listen, move with some decency, move with some respect at the end of the day, because we ain't trying to make the block hot. So do what works for you and keep it safe, keep it decent. So we're gonna keep it decent in the chat. So yes, but typically, y'all, I like 10 is my number. I don't want to go over 10 because especially in a single family home. So that's just that on that. But as long as you're operating in a single family home, you don't need no certificate of occupancy. That's why I teach you guys to set these up in single family homes. And that's what's going to be the difference. And that's why you don't need no license to run this. Everybody type no license. Everybody type no license. When you're running your housing program out of a single family home and your people are independent and you're not providing them with any care, you don't need no license to run this. This is not a group home. This is not a personal care home. This is not an assisted living. This ain't that. This is independent housing. I teach you guys how to set up housing programs to where you don't need license. We're not giving out any care. We're only giving out safe housing, and that's it. And that's it. So that's what the difference is. Oh, I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi. That's probably why my stuff acting weird. But all right, now when y'all listed y'all freedom numbers, for the ones that said they want to make 10K months in the chat, let's just do some simple math, right? Let's do simple math. I want to show y'all how many beds is it going to take to get you to your freedom number. So remember, I told you guys, if you're starting out this business and you're starting out your housing program in a 4-bedroom minimum, you should be able to get a minimum of 8 beds in that house. 8 beds times whatever your bed price is. So I'm based in Metro Atlanta. My bed price is $750 a month. I get $6,000 every single month if I have 8 beds in my 4 bedroom. Everybody type 6K in the chat. 6K could do a lot for some of y'all, and a lot of y'all not making those 6K at y'all 9 to 5. And this is money that you did not have to slave over. You did not have to sling an Amazon package for this 6K. You did not have to wipe no behind for this 6K. You ain't had to give out 3 meals a day for this 6K. This is you setting up a house one time, furnishing in that house, and filling it with the right people, y'all, and keeping your beds filled. Now, that's just off of one house. Now, let's say we're going to get to expenses later. I'm going to show y'all my real life numbers from one of my houses. But let's just say for the ones that say they want to make 10K months, I want to show y'all how attainable 10K months is if you start your housing program. Let's say you got 16 beds, right? Because 16 beds is only 2 houses. Let's say you got 16 beds at $750 a month. That's $12,000 a month that your business is bringing in gross. Everybody type 12K. So for the ones that said they want to make 10K months, if you just had 2 houses, let's say you had 2 houses and a half, so that's even 3 houses. When I tell y'all 2 houses are so attainable and so easy to manage, I have 6 houses right now. And I didn't hire part-time help until I got to house number 6. But I was maneuvering by myself as a woman, 5 houses by myself. But now I like to take my trips every month. I like to get on planes. So yeah, I hired somebody so I can do more for myself. But this is just with 2 houses, y'all. This is with 2 houses and you having 16 beds in those houses. Now, 5 houses by yourself, you're my hero. That part. But that's because I'm full-time, y'all. I'm full-time. But let me say this. Even if you're working a 9 to 5, I have students that are working their 9 to 5 and they still have their housing programs that they're running on the side. So you can do this part-time or you can do this full-time. It's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. Yeah. So do what's easy for you. If 2 houses is comfortable, stick with that. Stick with that, y'all. And honestly, I scaled over time. I didn't just sit here, open up 6 houses overnight. I've been doing this since 2021. So I really pace myself. I'm 60. Can I do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody can do this. The only requirement, as long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help people, you can start a housing program up. Yes, you can. Nothing is off the table for you. Now, I want to show you guys some of my real numbers. But we got to get to 50K likes first. Let's get to 50K likes TikTok, and I'm going to show you guys my real numbers of what one of my houses is bringing me in. So who pays for them? You must be new here. We went over that. They pay for themselves. The homeless people that we house, y'all, the homeless people I teach you guys to go after, they pay for themselves. But let's get up to 50K likes if y'all want me to keep going. You want me to keep going? I'm going to need for y'all to get up to 50K likes. Y'all going to have to earn that. But the people that we house, they're homeless, but they have money. So just because you hear the word homeless, it does not mean that they don't have income. I teach my students how to go in their community and find homeless individuals that have guaranteed money to pay you every single month so that they can stay in the beds that you create for them. This is how we get paid, y'all. We get paid by the bed. If they leave, you get somebody else to fill their spot. Just like a man. The one leave, you bring the replacement is on the way. Simple as that. Listen, there's an abundance of people that need housing. Everybody type abundance in the chat. We don't do scarcity. Once one leave, the next one is coming. Everybody type abundance in the chat. You got to have an abundance mindset in business and life. If you thinking about losing something or losing somebody and you don't think you're going to get better, you need to do some inner work. We are operating on abundance on this channel. On this side we doing abundance. All we see is abundance. I'm not thinking about who left, who done walked out on me. We moving off of abundance over here. So when you move out of abundance, you move different. I don't care about who leave. And listen, this is even what I tell my people in the housing program. It might sound mean. When they start acting up and they start breaking the rules, and I tell them, look, you got one more time to do this and you're going to lose your housing. You're going to get put out. Well, listen, I don't need you here. Once I get rid of you, your replacement is on the way within 2 days. So don't sit here and think I need you. The moment they start thinking that you need them and you going to sit here and put up with their BS, I don't put up with nobody BS. The minute you start acting crazy, breaking rules, you out of there. But when you act out of a place of desperation, oh, they're going to run all type of game on you. Same thing as a man. Same thing as a man. You let them play in your face one time, it's a wrap. So that's why you have to have a strict program. Everybody type strict in the chat. That's why I teach y'all. Create your housing programs and make it strict. When they know you ain't playing with them, they gonna come different. They gonna come different. They not about to sit here and mess up and jeopardize their housing. Even my people, y'all. When I sit them down and I have a meet and I say, look, this your second time messing up. And they be like, well, I don't want to lose my house. And listen, you got to put the fear of God in them. You got to put the fear of God in these people. And listen, they ain't going nowhere. Because they ain't never had nobody actually talk to them like that. It is like, listen, y'all need to learn from the realists. And this is why I have 6 houses and 49 beds, because I run a strict program in real life and in my housing program. So same principles can be applied to your real life and your housing program. Keep it strict, and they're not going to play in your face. And if they leave, guess what? The replacement is on the way. Simple as that. Simple as that. All right, period. We have 50K likes. Shout out to y'all. Now let's keep tapping to 60K. Now, I want to show y'all a real life example. Finally, my algorithm dropped me off at the right location. That part. If you're new here, make sure you guys hit that follow button. It's a vibe. You're going to love it here. I teach you guys how to get paid for your purpose through starting your own housing program. We get to the money on this channel, and we moving and we living in our purpose. So that's what the difference is. You can definitely do both. You don't have to be a nonprofit to start this up. You can be a for-profit business and make your money while you're still helping people. And that's what I teach you guys how to do through starting your own independent housing program. Anybody can start this up, y'all. I don't care if you a felon. I don't care if you got bad credit. I don't care if you don't own property. I don't own no property. I rent all my homes with permission. So I teach any everyday person how to become an impactful earner, impactful CEO. And that's what the difference is, y'all. Now, let me teach you guys how you're going to get to 10K months in this business. Now, all right, let me give y'all a real life example. So my very first house is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Inside that house, I have 9 beds in that house. So let me show y'all. I'm going to bring my calculator out to show y'all the real numbers. Now, my first house, I have 8 beds that are shared. And this is how for y'all that's new, this is how we set up our rooms in our houses, y'all. We put a minimum of 2 people, yes, without owning property. I don't own none of these properties. I teach you guys how to rent with permission. Now, if you own property, that's even better. You ain't got to get permission. So this is how we set up our rooms, y'all. For the new ones that's just joining in the chat, this is how I teach you guys to set up your rooms so that because we getting paid by the bed on this channel. So we don't do private rooms. We do shared rooms. So the more beds you have, the more money you can make. The more beds you have, the more money you can make. Now, my very first house, and I still have the house to this day, I put 9 beds in that house. Now, let me show y'all. And if you're new, I'm based in Metro Atlanta. My minimum bed price is $750 a month. So in my first house, I have 8 people that pay me $750 a month, and that's for a shared room. So that house brings me in $6K a month. However, I did add another bed in that house because one of the rooms were way too small for me to make a shared. So I made that room a private room. And that room is really small. It's a 2-bathroom. So a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And this room, the room that I made a private, is really small. So I only charge that person $1,000 a month for that room. So let's add that into how much we make a month. So I got 6,000. Now let's add 1,000. So every single month, y'all, my 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that I don't even own brings me in $7K every single month. Everybody type $7K in the chat. And we're going to break down the utilities and the expenses, but I want everybody to type $7K in the chat right now. Everybody type $7K. And a lot of y'all not sitting here bringing in those $7K at your 9 to 5. A lot of y'all is not seeing this type of money without you having a Sling Amazon package, without you having a DoorDash down to the ground and Uber Eats to the ground, without you having to stand on your feet all day as a cashier, without you having to work double, triples, and whatever else. This is $7K, y'all, of you setting up a house one time, filling that house with the right people, and collecting your money every single month like clockwork. I don't gotta be shackled to my houses, y'all. I live my life. I get on planes. I take trips. And guess what? That 7K is deposited in the account every single month like clockwork. Every single, not down to the ground. Yeah, it'd be Uber Eats into the ground, working 80 hours a week. No, y'all, this is you living that soft era and you making your money in peace. We not about to be sitting here burning ourselves out to make money no more. It's 2026. It's so many ways to get to a bag. And the way we get to a bag on this channel is safe housing. Safe housing to independent adults. So my one house, y'all, is grossing me in 7K every single month. This is money that I did not have to slave over. I did not have to give out 3 meals a day. I did not have to bathe nobody up. I had to sit here and clean no behind. I had to give out medications. The only thing I had to do was rent a property, furnish it like this. Let me show y'all. Furnish it like this and make the room shared and collect my money every single month in peace. Fill these beds up with the right people and keep my people happy and collect this money every single month like clockwork. That's all I had to do. That's all. If you could use an extra 7K a month, type 7K in the chat. Type 7K in the chat. And I'm gonna show y'all the expenses. If you could use an extra 7K a month outside of your 9 to 5, and even if you are making 7K in your 9 to 5, why not make another stream of income for yourself that don't require you to be there 24/7? This is money that's coming every single month like clockwork. Now, for this house right here that I have, y'all, my rent is only $1,850 a month. So this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom that I put 9 people in this house, and my rent is only $1,850. So let's take out the rent. I'm gonna take out the rent for y'all because I want y'all to see what I'm taking home after I pay all my bills. I want y'all to see the income potential that one house is gonna give you, right? And this is me not owning nothing. I'm making more money than my landlords, but don't tell them that though. But I'm really making more money than the landlords. I'm gonna get to it. So let's subtract rent for now, right? So once I subtract out rent from what I get every single month, I'm left with $5,150. And that's still good money, y'all. That's still good money. Like a lot of people you ain't seeing no 5K at your 9 to 5 that you didn't have to sit here and work doubles and triples for. This is us setting up a house one time and collecting our money like this every single month. These people need a place to stay. They're not about to leave and be back on the streets. They're going to pay you. And I teach you how to find the people that ain't going nowhere because they don't want to be on them streets. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all this one story, right? One of my people, and this is why I be like scaring them. It's honestly, when you house these people, they become like your children, right? And I had this one bad one. His name was Reggie. Reggie was always, Reggie was like this, but Reggie always in the house starting arguments. So I had to sit Reggie down one day, right? I was like, Reggie, you got one more time or you gonna get put out? He was like, please, I don't want to go back to the trap house. He was like, I don't want to go back to the trap house. Y'all, I took everything in me not to bust out laughing in his face. I'm the most unserious person. He was like, please, I don't want to go back to the trap house. I like it here. I don't want to leave. When I tell y'all they love it here, when I tell you we really adding value to their life, because if it's not for housing programs like us, these people would be in the trap. No furniture, people selling themselves, all type of crazy activity going on. He was like, please, I don't want to go back to the trap house. I said, well, you better stop. They like a bunch of bad kids. He was like, and that stuck with me to this day. He's like, I don't want to go back to the trap house, please. I like it here. That's what and Reggie was like 60 something, y'all. Mind you, this is a senior that I'm talking to. This is a senior that I'm talking to. I don't want to go back to the trap house, but when you house this population, to get a little, but yeah, y'all, that's just a quick funny story. But where was I at? But when we're providing safe housing to these people, they not trying to leave. They want to have a safe place to lay their head. Even though it's a shared room, they not finding this at the trap house. They not finding this at the shelter, y'all. That's why I teach you how to make a difference in your community and provide safe living. These people need us. If it's not for us, and listen, I didn't realize until I started my housing program up, a lot of these, a whole senior citizen acting up. They like a bunch of bad kids. I had to get on him and sit him. And I said, look, Reggie, you got one more time. You're going to lose your housing. He was like, please, I don't want to go back to the trap. I don't want to go back to the trap house. Well, you better act like you got some sense. But what I tell y'all, what we do, it really make a difference. I really mean that. That's why these people is not, you talking about eviction. These people not trying to get put out. I got one veteran, y'all. His name is Mr. Randy. Mr. Randy done paid his rent up 6 months in advance because he ain't trying to leave. Mr. Randy said, the only way I'm leaving is if it's in a body bag. That's it. And I should tell y'all something. They not trying to go nowhere. When you provide these people with a great environment, they feel like family, they feel a part of something. You think that they're going to want to leave you and not pay where they stay? No, they overly paying. And even with people like Reggie was always, they pay on time. And that's why I tell y'all, get these people in your house that get a check. When these people get government money, they get check. You think they about to not pay you? No. The only people that's not paying is them people that's working these jobs. That's why I don't teach y'all to go after working people. The only people that's going to run game on you is those working people that's working the job. Them working people want private rooms and they want to run game. I don't house them. I don't care for that population. And look, them working people not trying to share no room. People like Reggie, shared room. People like Reggie, people like Mr. Randy, shared room. They don't mind it. They're not trying to go back to the trap. Listen, y'all, I tell y'all, I don't teach y'all to set up trap houses. We making a real impact in these people's lives. And that's why you ain't never got to worry about them not paying you. That's why you ain't got to worry about them not paying you. Now, let's get back to the example. I just had to tell y'all that funny story, but they are like little kids. You ain't got to worry about evicting them when you scare them one good time. Listen, you got one more time and you're going to lose your housing. Please. It'd be so funny, y'all. I be trying so hard not to laugh because I'm really goofy in real life. But my business side, I be trying to keep a serious face because I don't show them my funny side. But it'd be so funny. And some days I'd be like, I can't really believe I'm really a business owner. These people are really taking me serious. But that's how it is. We really making a difference through starting up these housing programs. That's why I tell y'all, you ain't got to have a whole lot of experience. Just have a bit of business mindset and have a heart to really want to help these people. And you can set this up. It don't take all that. It don't take all that. Oh, let me start this group home up. Oh, let me go to the city. We ain't doing all that. We getting houses. We furnishing them up. We making it feel like home. We finding people in need that get money. And we providing safe housing to them. We giving them second chance housing. And in return, they're going to pay you every single month because they don't want to be on the street. They don't want to be on the street. So yeah, both you can do a co-ed house. So most of my homes are gender only. I like to house men by themselves, women by themselves, because best believe you start mixing the genders, it's going to get a little funny. They will be messing around and you can't really prevent that. So that's why I like to house gender only homes. Now let's get back to the example. For the ones in the chat that's wondering how to get to their first extra 5 to 10K months. Yeah. Now, if you're just joining, just join in the chat. But my one house, that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I have 9 beds in that house that are filled. I get 7K every single month from that one house from the people that I house. Now, my rent is only $1,850 for that 4-bedroom because I teach you guys how to do this through renting. After I pay the rent in my house, I'm left with $5,150. And that's still good money because I didn't have to clock in to get this money. I didn't have to DoorDash or Uber Eats to get this money. I didn't have to work doubles at work to get this money. This is me teaching you guys to set up a house one time, fill it up, furnish it, fill it up with the right people, and make your money in peace every single month. Now, when it comes to utilities, I tell my students to budget anywhere between $500 to $800 a month when it comes to utilities. For this house here, my utilities never go over $500, so it'd be like a $430, $480. It never goes over $500. So that utilities is electric, renter's insurance, whatever you use in your real house, y'all, the same utilities that you're going to need for your housing program. So for the sake of the example, let's subtract $500. So let's say all utilities $500. So after I take out utilities, After I pay my rent, this is how much money I'm left with every single month from one of my houses. I'm left with $4,650 a month. This is all profit. Everybody type 4K in the chat. Everybody type 4K in the chat. A lot of y'all is not making this at y'all 9 to 5. And if you are, guess what? You had to work 30,000 hours to get that 4K. You had to deal with annoying coworkers. You couldn't take no time off. You couldn't go out with your kids. You came home burnt out. So this is you making a extra $4,000 every single month just off of setting up one property that you don't have to own. You can rent this, furnishing it, and it don't have to be decked out like an Airbnb. You can furnish it with the most basic things, y'all. The most basic things. And fill it up with the right people that get a check every single month and bring home a minimum of 4K a month. Now, typically, listen, y'all, the landlords ain't even making this money. My landlord is only probably making an extra $300, $400 off of me. So I'm really telling y'all that this is the new wave. People are starting up housing programs because this is what's making people financially free, and it's impacting the community. There is no greater feeling than to know that you're getting paid for your purpose to help other people, and you ain't got to sit here and burn yourself out. You ain't got to slave. Now, this is just one house, y'all. Imagine you had 3 houses. Imagine you have 4 houses. There's really no limit on how far you could take this. There is really no limit on how far you could take this. Listen, y'all, I got 6 houses and 49 beds. If I wanted to go out there and get 10 houses, who gonna stop me? Nobody. So if you want to go, well, however many houses you want to get, that's up to you. Ain't nobody gonna come clock your tea. What I tell y'all, the city can't clock my tea. We're not doing nothing illegal because we're providing safe housing to independent adults. We're not giving out medication. We're not bathing nobody up. We're not providing 3 meals a day. Everybody type no food in the chat. We are providing housing only. Think of it like an Airbnb for old people that never want to leave. This is all we doing, y'all. We providing them a safe space. No food needed. We not sitting here, oh, what do you want for breakfast? These people know how to fend for themselves. Listen, they know how to fend for themselves. Get a hotel building, that part. Listen, but I teach you guys how to set these up with no license, no zoning, no certification through these single family homes. A lot of y'all got spare bedrooms in y'all houses. A lot of y'all got houses laying around. Some of y'all got family members that have access to property. Why not partner with them, set you a house up, get your money, fill it up, and make your extra source of income and help your community? Listen, y'all, there are so many homeless people everywhere, all throughout the US, not just in Atlanta, not just in Charlotte. If you could Google on your phone, homeless shelter near me, you can start this up. You can start this up. Now, if you in the chat and you like, well, Lane, this sounds amazing. How can I start this up? How can I learn up under you? If you want me to teach you guys my bed to bread method, how you can turn these beds into monthly income with property that you don't have to own, with property that you do not have to be a nurse for, you do not have to be a CNA for. If you want to learn how you can make an extra 5K to 10K months through offering safe housing, and you want me to coach you, type a 1 in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat, and I'll show you guys how you can become a student. And I'll show you guys how you can become a student. And I might do something special if we have enough 1s in the chat, because I know Mother's Day is coming up. So yes. Somebody said, please, if you can call me. I don't call people, y'all. The best way to access me is on my live streams or send me an email. I don't call people on the phone. I'm too busy. Unless you book a coaching call with me, that's the only way. But here's what I have for you guys. So for the ones that's serious and the ones that want to learn my method, you want to become a student of mine, you want me to coach you through this process, what I have for you guys is, so my email is on my profile, so it should be in my profile. But what I have for you guys is my bundle. My bundle is you're going to get my masterclass that's 3 hours long, and my masterclass walks you from A to Z. how to start this up in any city, in any state. I teach you guys where to go in your community to find these homeless people that have money, but they need a place to call home in any city, in any state. I also teach you guys how to find landlords and property management companies if you do not own property, so that way you can start your housing program up in these rentals. I also teach you guys how to structure your housing program where you don't have to be shackled to your houses every single day. I get on planes, I live my life, and guess what? My house is still run. Let me show y'all. So it's actually video, it's not an ebook. So it's actually a master class that you can pause, you can go back to it, you can stop it, and you have forever access. Once you become a student of mine, you get forever access to the material. So the bundle includes the master class that's almost 3 hours long, walking you step by step. And then also in the bundle, you'll get the forms that I use to run my housing program, y'all. I don't give out leases. My house rules are in there. So if you want to know the type of rules that I set and the type of rules you can set, and also all the documents are 100% customizable. So you can customize it to your liking. All of my students that are currently up and running with multiple houses, y'all, they purchased my bundle. And the bundle is all you need. And on top of you getting a bundle, once you become a student of mine, you get ongoing coaching inside of my exclusive FB community. Now, let me show you what that looks like. And this comes with your purchase. And inside the FB group, y'all, we have free monthly meetups. So I host Zoom calls every single month. So even after you get your bundle and you still have questions on your journey, as long as you attend these monthly meetups, that the next one is going to be May 13th, and that's at 8 p.m. So if you join today, then you get access to me inside this community. And this is where all my students are, y'all. All my heavy hitters that's open up their house. This is one of my students, Tammy. Tammy just filled her house, y'all. She just filled her house yesterday. So for the ones that's in the chat, my students is really having big motion. They doing their biggest one. I take everyday people and I turn them into impactful earners, impactful CEOs. I don't care what your background is. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you did prison time. I don't care whatever the case may be. As long as you got a business mind and a heart to want to help somebody, I could teach you how to get paid. But this is one of my students, Tammy, y'all. She just filled her house up yesterday and she's on to house number 2, period. But listen, let me show y'all another success story. Let me share another success story because my students, they got receipts for days. Another one of my students, her name is Marsha. For ones that's asking, well, can I do this in 2 separate states? You definitely can. So for FB, you just going to be missing out on the ongoing support. But yeah, so that's what's going to come with your purchase of the bundle. And here's what I'm going to do. For the ones that's serious, I will discount my bundle right now, only while I'm on this live. I'm going to discount it to, because it's Mother's Day, so I'm going to give y'all something special for the mothers. Even if you're not a mother, this is going to be a new baby. So this is what I'm going to do for my mothers in the chat and my future mothers. So I'm going to discount my bundle to $285. And do you need money to start? Not right away, because some of my students got the bundle. They help place other people in the housing and they get paid that way. So you don't need a house to get paid. And that's the beauty of this business. All right, guys. So I currently discounted my bundle and I'm only going to keep it discounted for 10 minutes. After that, I got to go because I got a workout class coming up that I have to leave for. So, hey, Siri, set alarm for 10 minutes. So let me show you guys how to become a student. And once you become a student, do not leave. I want to show you how to get the ongoing coaching. I'm going to show you how to get the ongoing coaching on your journey. And once you get it, come back and say, got it, so I can show you how to get inside the community. For the ones that want to become a student, so if you're on YouTube, thank you for the gifts. If you're on YouTube, the bundle is currently on sale. You have to hit the drop down button in this video, and it's going to say join here to become a student. Click that, and let me show you how to get to it. For FB, it should be linked in this chat. But let me show my TikTok family how to become a student and join the winning team, because all of my students do their biggest one. So here's what you're going to do for my TikTok community. And for the first 2 people that get their bundle, they're going to get a free coaching call with me. So Lane, how did OGs get in your class? So I didn't leave, but stay tight. I'm going to show them how to become a student, but don't leave. I'm going to show you how to join a new group. So for all my TikTok people, you're going to click on this button right here. Click on my profile picture. Once you click on that, another box is going to pop up. And we also have Klarna and Afterpay, y'all. Thank you for the gifts, nurse. We also have Klarna and Afterpay. So if you want to do the payment plan, I think it's going to be $71 today. But click on this profile picture right up here. Another box is going to pop up. Click on my face again. Once you click on my face, it's going to take you to my profile. You're going to click where it says Stand Store. So once you click on Stand Store, the bundle is the first one, y'all. It's currently $285. It'll never be this cheap when I get off of here. The price is going back up to $500. So, and it's only going to stay like this for 10 minutes. Inside this bundle, it's a masterclass. It's a video. It's not an ebook. So you can watch me teach you step by step inside this bundle. And then you'll also get the forms to help run your housing program. Now, for the ones that want to do Klarna and Afterpay, you're going to hit the K or the $ at checkout. And that's what's going to give you, wait, why is it not doing it? Oh, wait, there it go. And then you're going to hit Klarna or Afterpay. Now, if you do Klarna, your payment today is going to be $71. And that's a good, listen, y'all, to invest $71 today and learn a business skill that can make you over 4K months. If you ask me, that's a steal. So once you click Klarna or Afterpay, and I highly recommend all of y'all to use a payment plan because that's going to break it down for you. And then put your email in and it's going to come straight to your inbox. So it's going to come straight to your email, the video and the forms you need to get started. Now, it's currently, hey Siri, set alarm for 10 minutes. So y'all got 10 minutes to join the winning team. And then once you get it, the first 2 people that get it, come back and say, got it. If you were the first 2, because I'm on 3 platforms, so I don't know who the first 2 is yet. But once you come back and say, got it, I'm going to show you guys how to join the ongoing coaching inside the FB group. That's where you'll have access to me to ask your questions and my other students that are in the chat that's doing successful, that have multiple homes. And also we got students from everywhere inside the group. So let me show you guys the group that you're going to get access to as well once you become a student and learn the method. So it's called Bed to Bread Housing Community. So if you're already a student of mine, this is the new group that we're in. So go to FB and request this group. And if you're not a student, you cannot get in. This is only for people that invest in themselves and get the bundle that's currently on sale. So once you click on Bed number 2, Bread Housing Community, put the email that you purchased with to be approved. And then I'm going to let you in. And our next meetup, y'all, is going to be May 13th. And then once you hit the events tab, once you get inside the group, you can mark yourself as going to the next meetup so you can ask your questions and things of that nature. Now, also, I am not in any other FB community. So if you're a student of mine, you have to join Bed to Bread Housing Community to have continued access to me and the other students on your journey. Can you do that again? So if you want me to show you how to become a student, type me in the chat. Type me in the chat and I'm going to show you how. But for the ones that's serious, that want to learn how to get paid from housing the homeless, you want to be coached by me. My bundle is currently on sale for 8 minutes left, only 8 minutes, because I'm only doing this because other people pay way more than y'all. So I don't want them to know that I'm discounting it. So I'm only going to do it for 8 minutes. But what you're going to do, you're going to click on my profile picture right up here. And it's $285, y'all. It's the lowest it's ever been. It's never going to be this low ever again. So you're going to click on my profile picture. Another box is going to pop up. Click on my profile again. And then once you get to my profile, it's going to take you to my page. Once you get to my page, you're going to click where it says Stand Store. Stand Store. Wait. And click on Stand Store, and the bundle is the first one, y'all. This is what's going to walk you step by step on how to get paid from housing the homeless without owning property, without needing to be licensed, zoned, or certified. And this is a video, y'all. This is not an ebook. This is me teaching you in a Zoom class-like setting. And then you have access to this forever. It never expires. Now, for the ones that want to do Klarna and Afterpay, I highly recommend y'all do that. So you're going to scroll down and click on the K and the cash button. So click where it says Klarna. Done. Welcome to the winning team, Mama Mata, period. So do not leave. Let me show you how to join the FB group where you're going to get ongoing support. And if you guys use Klarna or Afterpay, it is going to be $71 today. $71. I'm trying to get in. Trying to get in what? The FB community? Now, for the ones that's serious, welcome to the winning team. Shout out to all my trophies in the chat. I can't copy the link. So what you're going to have to do, you might have to copy it and open it up in another browser because TikTok be acting weird. I don't know why I do that. But try opening it up in another browser. And then for the ones that's getting a bundle, welcome to the winning team. So this is a community that you guys will have access to me and to ask your questions. It's called Bed to Bread Housing Community. This is not a free group. You have to get your bundle to join. You have to get your bundle to join. And then put the email that you just purchased with to be approved. And in here, you can ask your questions. You can attend the free monthly meetups. You can find the other students that might be in your area because we got students from everywhere in here, y'all. Virginia. I'm trying to buy the bundle with the Mother's Day, but it doesn't send the code. It's currently already discounted, so no code needed. It's currently discounted to $285 only for 5 more minutes. So yes, so if you're in the chat and you want to become a student, you want me to teach you guys how you can get paid from creating your own housing program. My bundle is currently on sale for 6 more minutes because I have to go. I got a workout class I got to attend. So, and then once I get off of this live, y'all, the price is going back up. So I would hate that for y'all. I really would. For my YouTube community, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the drop down button in this description bar where the live button is. And it says join here to become a student or something like that. But that's how you become a student. Latasha, what you mean for the houses? But yeah, so this is the only time to join my program, y'all, at a discounted rate. When I get off here, it's going back up. It's going back up. And for all the ones that's doing a biggest one, welcome to the winning team. Welcome, welcome. So let me show you guys how to join the FB group. Let me show y'all. Because the group is what's going to take you up a notch. Because you cannot do this business alone, y'all. You have to stay plugged into the community so you can ask your questions. When the journey gets tough, you're going to be, listen, drop your questions in the group, attend those meetups because it's definitely needed. So now that you are a student, welcome to the winning team. Go to FB and type in Bed to Bread Housing Community. It has the 2 beds at the top. That's how you know it's us. And then put the email that you purchased with to be approved. And then once I get off of here, I'm going to let all the students in. Ariana said, got it. I feel like it's going to be good to be. Welcome to the winning team, period. Shout out to Ariana. If you are in the chat and you are just joining, my bundle teaching you guys how to start your own housing program is currently on sale for the next 5 minutes for Mother's Day. I'm doing something special for all the mothers. And when I get off of here, the price is going up. Listen, y'all been watching the content. Y'all been like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Now, this is your opportunity to build something for yourself that can't nobody take from you. Where do I paste the link at? So Nurse Yaya you, what you can do is go to copy the link and it should say something like open new browser. I don't know if you're on the iPhone but when you click on the link, it should say like open in a new browser. So go to and if you scroll off the live, I should still be on the screen, but go to your browser, whatever your internet browser is, and copy that link into the browser. But welcome to the winning team. For everybody that's doing a biggest one and learning from the queen, make sure you guys don't forget to join the ongoing coaching in the FB community. Let me show you guys. It is called Bed Number 2 Bread Housing Community, and it's currently on sale for $285 so you get the recording. It's not an ebook. It's my masterclass and my forums teaching you A to Z. Everything that y'all need is in that bundle. So when y'all inbox me, can I get on a coaching call? Honestly, y'all, my coaching call, you need to go get the bundle. I can't explain this entire business model in 30 minutes. I just can't. That's why that masterclass is almost 3 hours long. It really break y'all down step by step. My scripts are in there telling you what to say, where to go in your city, how to set it up, how to get multiple homes, how to structure your homes, how to furnish it. Everything that y'all ask me on these live streams, I really deep dive inside that replay, inside that masterclass. And all of my students that's having 2-3 locations, they started with the bundle. Will I get a confirmation, Lawanda? Yes. So you should get a receipt. If you put your phone number, it should text automatically to your phone number, and it's going to be in your email. If you guys are having any issues finding your product, make sure you send me an email, and also check your spam and your promotions folder. Sheila said, just purchased it. Welcome to the winning team, Sheila. Shout out to all the action takers that's doing their biggest one. It's to the top because you learning from the best in the business. And guess what? All of my students are action takers and they're winners because they put the work in. So make sure you guys watch your material. Stay plugged into the community. Let me show you the community to join now that you're a student. Once you become a student of mine, we locked in for life until you stop showing up for yourself, until you give up. I'm going to always show up to the group, y'all. Every single month, we host these free Zoom calls so to give you help on your journey, answer your questions. So as long as y'all stop showing up, so this is a community that you guys get access to. It's called Bed to Bread Housing Community. And this is where you ask your questions. This is where you have access to me. This is where you get to attend the free monthly meetups that we host every single month. So do not forget to join the FB community and make sure you guys have a profile picture. Even if you don't have an FB account, y'all, please get you an account because this is where we stay plugged in with each other. Even if you just got to get an account just for the group, you ain't got to put your real profile picture on there. Use like a pet or a flower or something. Just make sure y'all do not miss out this group because this group is what's going to help you on your journey. This is where you're going to ask your question. How long will the bundle be on sale? I'm picking up my children. I'll be home in 20 minutes. Can I still buy for this price? So I might stay on for 10 minutes longer because I got a workout class I got to get to in a few. So once I get off here, y'all, the price going back up. These landlords want money just like we do. We got this, that part, Ariana, that part. But if you're in the chat and you want to become a student, you want me to mentor you on how to start your own housing program in any city, in any state, drop me in the chat because I currently put my bundle, my bed to bread housing bundle, teaching you guys how you can make monthly income off of these beds. Let me show you. Off of these beds that you don't have to own. I teach you guys how to get permission from landlords to rent houses and create shared rooms and get paid from these beds. And you ain't got to sit here and go to no city. You don't need no license for this, no zoning for this. And I teach you guys my step-by-step blueprint inside of my bundle that's currently on sale. I think the timer went off. Do I have anybody else that want to become a student and sign up? Type me in the chat and then I'll show you guys and I'll add more time. But if not, I got to head to my workout class. So if y'all want me to stay on for like 10 more minutes and show you how to become a student, type me in the chat and then I'll show you guys. I can't get it on Mother's Day for the same price. When is Mother's Day? Sunday? I only like to discount when I go live. If I'm not live, it's not going to be discounted. And Sunday, I think I'm going to be traveling. So I don't know. But that's why I tell you, I get it now. It's if you purchase it with Klarna Afterpay, it's only $71. You can call your son, call your daughter. Hello, can you cash at me $75 right now? Can you cash at me $75 for Mother's Day or cash at me $100? Listen, you better tap into them kids. No tea, no shade. But listen, it's not showing payment. All right. Shout out to all the action takers. I don't have money now. All right. Well, you're going to have it one day. You're going to have it. But for the ones in the chat, so let me show you guys how to become a student. So for my TikTok community, what you're going to do, you're going to click on my profile picture right up here. Once you click on my profile picture, another box is going to pop up. Why did it restrict my live? Oh, I'm going to have to come back because it said I said FB. They said I'm directing people off the platform. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my profile. And when you get to my profile, make sure you guys are following me because I don't want you to get scammed. It's a lot of fake accounts. And I would never inbox y'all first. I would never Telegram, WhatsApp, none of that stuff. So make sure you go to my account and click on this LINK stand store. And the bundle is currently on sale for $285. And I said for the ones that want to use the payment plan method, which is Klarna and Afterpay, if you go to checkout and you type in this button right here and you're approved through Klarna, then you're only going to need to pay $71. You see that? That's if you get approved for Klarna and Afterpay. It's going to be 71. But yeah, they restricted my live, y'all, so I might have to hang up and come back. But for the ones that's in the chat for my YouTube community, what you guys are going to do, let me see if I can show you. If you're on FB, it should be linked inside this chat. I don't know if I have anybody in the chat that's based on the West Coast, but I'm coming to Oakland May 30th. I'm hosting an in-person event. Where's the FB page? So let me show you. I'm hosting an in-person event in Oakland May 30th. It's going to be on a high rise. It's going to be a vibe. Make sure y'all come. This is the community that you guys get ongoing coaching with me from. Inside of here, it's called Bed to Bread Housing Community. And make sure you guys put the email you purchased with to be approved. If you didn't put the email, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's gonna decline. And then you also have to have a profile picture. You're gonna also have to have a profile picture because it'll automatically decline the invite if you don't have a profile picture. And the picture don't have to be a y'all. I know y'all like to move in silence. It can be of a pet. It can be a flower. It could be anything. But you just have to have a profile picture because we don't want no spam accounts. So yeah, inside this community, so after you watch your bundle and you still have questions, this group right here is where you're going to ask your questions. You can introduce yourself, meet the other people in the group. And somebody asked, do we have people in Columbus, Ohio? We do. So once you get inside the group, hit this search bar at the top of the group, and then you're going to type in your state. So type in like Ohio, type in Georgia or Atlanta, and then you'll see everybody that posted about that state. Let me see. Let me type in Ohio. Ohio. So when I type in Ohio, yes, we got Beauty. She's in Ohio. So once you get inside the community, make sure you guys type your city in or introduce yourself, and people from your city will comment. We are really a close-knit community, for real, for real. So yeah, Brittany, her name is Brittany. She's in Ohio too. She's in Ohio. She's in Columbus, Ohio. She opened up her housing program. So we got success from everywhere, y'all. My students is really winning, and there is no other coach. Oh, Amanda is in Cincinnati. Amanda, are you a student inside the new group? Are you inside the new group? But when I tell y'all there is no other coach having success rate the way my students have success rate, I have students in Fresno. Yes, I have students in Fresno and Cali. Yes, but if you in Fresno, you need to be coming to the in-person event May 30th. And for all my students, once you get inside the group, tell me that you're a student or inbox me student, and then I'll send you the discounted link to attend the in-person event. Because all my students get discounted rates to attend my in-person events. They don't have to pay full price. Now, if you're not a student, you got to pay full price. But if you are my student, you get a highly discounted rate. And because I look out for mine, and yeah, that's just that on that. But shout out to all the action takers in the chat. Soon as I get off of here, I'm going to approve everybody inside the community. I'm going to approve. Yes, I'm a student. Period, LaWanda. Let's go. Woo. Shout out to LaWanda, did her biggest one. Shout out to all my action takers in the chat that did their biggest one. It's to the top for you because guess what? You learning from the best in the business, the queen, and you cannot lose because I don't lose. And I don't raise quitters. My students are not quitters. My students, they are action takers. They invest in themselves. They succeed. So as long as you have those three things, invest in yourself, put the work in, stay down for your come up. You cannot lose in this space, and stay plugged into the community. That's what's going to help you on your journey. So stay plugged into this FB group, y'all, because this is where the magic happens inside the Bed to Bread housing community on FB. This is where my students are doing their biggest one. But yeah, shout out to all the action takers in the chat. Now that I'm off, I'm about to head out and the price is going back up. Demi said I purchased. What is the next step? So Demi, your next step is to go to FB and type in Bed to Bread housing community, and then put the email that you just purchased your bundle with to be approved. And then I'm going to accept everyone as soon as I get off of here. So this is the group that you guys get access to now. Once you're a student of mine, we are locked in for life, period. So this is a group that should get ongoing support. Just make sure you put your email and have a profile picture. But TikTok hating on me, they restricted my live, so that's why my numbers are going down. But whatever, it's cool. Do I have anybody else? Let me see if I can appeal it. Do I have anybody else in the chat that want to become a student and learn from the queen and join the winning team? But shout out to all the action takers for joining the winning team. You did the best thing for yourself because my students have big motion, big success. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. I love it here. And listen, I want y'all to hear from them. I want y'all to hear from them, not from me. Let me show y'all some real life receipts. And these receipts are on my page too, y'all. These receipts are on my page, on my TikTok too. Let me show y'all. This is what happened when you invest in yourself and you join the winning team.
I'm from Athens, Georgia. I took lane class in April. I got my first house in May. I have one house up and running. All of my beds are filled. I'm working on getting my second property at the moment. I partner with a lot of nonprofit organizations who send me my clients. Thank you, Lane and Jay, for getting on live every day and your classes. And I really appreciate you guys. And this event was very nice. I loved it. Thank you.
This is why you want to become a student and get into the room and network with like-minded people. Listen, y'all, she got started within 2 weeks.
Hi, my name is Zakaya Lawson. I'm from Athens, Georgia. I took lane class in April. I got my first house in May. I have one house up and running. All of my beds are filled. I'm working on getting my second property at the moment. I partner with a lot of nonprofit organizations who send me my clients. Thank you, Lane and Jay, for getting on live every day and your classes. And I really appreciate you guys. And this event was very nice. I loved it. Thank you.
And she got the bundle, y'all. The same thing that y'all signed up to get. That's what she got. And this was last year. This year, she got 4 locations and they all filled. So that should tell y'all something. Success leave clues. Make sure you invest in the right mentor, which is myself. You cannot lose. When you get my information and you execute, you put the work in, you stay connected and plugged into the community, you cannot lose. Success is contagious. Who gonna be the next success story? I mean, it's contagious at this point. When you get around other winners, you have no choice but to be a winner. And that's just that on that. But shout out to all the action takers that did the biggest one. The price is going up because I'm about to get off. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you join the group. If you signed up and became a student, do not forget to join the community, which is Bed to Bread. Oh, wait, did they remove my subscription? Current live is no, they still got a restriction on me. Anyway, but shout out to y'all. Hey Nadine. But yeah, period, Ariana. So yeah, my next success story, who is going to be, so I can shout you out next. And make sure y'all get y'all ticket to Oakland. The tickets are selling fast, and it's going to be a small, intimate room. I'm not going to pack it out like I normally do, but it's still going to sell out. Let's not forget, all my events sell out, y'all. So if you do not get your ticket, I hate that for y'all. If you want to learn in person, go purchase through the Eventbrite. And because we do have payment plans, also, let me show y'all. So for the ones that's in the chat, you can go to my same BIO and sign up through the Eventbrite. Hold on, why did it do that? So when you go, okay, approved. Perfect. They took the restriction off. Thank you. TikTok. So once you click on the stand link, for those that's on the West Coast, make sure y'all get y'all ticket to May 30th, the Bay Area event. Because my in-person events be next level, y'all. It really do. Ain't nobody throw events for housing the way I do it. And when I tell y'all inside the event show, we really give y'all actionable strategies. It's not just sitting there and we all bored to death and we sitting there writing down. No, I put y'all in action. Like we are learning hands-on. I know it's a lot of people in the chat that are hands-on learner. In these in-person meetups, we do things hands-on. We make the information applicable for y'all. I was trying to get the bundle, but my credit has a freeze on it. Will you be on here tomorrow? So I'm gonna be traveling tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get on tomorrow, but I do have a flight to catch tomorrow. But I'm gonna be in the airport, so I don't know. I might not be able to make it. But yeah, so yeah. But shout out to all the action takers in the chat for doing the biggest one. Welcome to the winning team. It's to the top for me and all my students. And that's just that on now. Always tell people you could watch me win or you could win with me. And I'm on a mission to create more impactful earners. I'm on a mission to create everyday people and turn them into impactful CEOs, become financially free, not have to work a job if they don't want to have to work a job. I already have a replay. Do you have just the docs available? So Flash, send me a DM and I can send you the separate link for just the documents. But it's I have it, I can send it to you separately, but I don't have it in my storefront. What other locations I have left? So I'm gonna be releasing more dates, but for right now it's Oakland. I'm gonna be doing Atlanta. Y'all know I'm based in Atlanta. Atlanta gonna step behind me, y'all. I'm already knowing. Because I did my first event in Atlanta and they packed the room out. So I already know how Atlanta coming behind me. And I don't play about Atlanta either because that's my home base right now. So Atlanta is gonna be another heavy hitter stop, and it's gonna be a sold out show. So when I drop the tickets for Atlanta, y'all better stop playing and get y'all tickets. But yeah, shout out to everybody for being on tonight. Y'all did your biggest one. I got a workout class, so I have to go. But make sure you guys are following me if you don't already. And for all my new students, welcome to the winning team. Make sure you guys go join the FB group, and I will see you in the community. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.